Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today I'll be covering the official handbook of the Marvel Universe Deluxe Edition, Book of the Dead, number 18. We are so close to finishing our epic run through this 20-issue limited series. Here we have issue number 18, published in 1987 by Marvel Comics, and we have a gorgeous wraparound cover from our cover artist Keith Pollard, inked by Joe Rubenstein. This one covers Hyperion to Nighthawk. Let's dive in and take a look. We have a data corrections column here from our Mark Grunwald, who's done a really good job of, as the series has progressed, going back and revisiting the mistakes that fans have written in and pointed out. And in an endeavor like this, an epic endeavor like this, you're going to make some mistakes. And they own up to them, and they do their best to fix them in columns like this. Quick peek at our creators behind this issue. Mark Grunwald, as I said, editor-designer. Peter Sanderson, writer-researcher. Gregory Wright, assistant editor. Joe Rubenstein, inker, embellisher of all the figures and the cover. Keith Pollard is our cover penciler. Andy Yanchus is the colorist. Brendan Mings is the typesetter, and a whole host of others involved in the production of this now bi-monthly book as we get toward the end here of the stretch run. Rodney Ramos is an art contributor, and Hector Collazo is listed as an art contributor. And those guys would become 90s artists for Marvel and other comics as well. So we start with Hyperion 2, with excellent artwork from Ron Wilson, who drew him in a pretty cool Marvel 2-in-1 issue. I think it might have been, it was definitely post Project Pegasus saga. The issue might have been in the 60s or the 70s, I don't remember exactly. First appearance, Avengers 69. Final appearance, Squadron Supreme number 8. So this is the evil Hyperion of the Squadron Sinister, and here he is dying after fighting the real Hyperion from that Counter-Earth. And yeah, here's some pretty great Buscema panels here. He fought Thor. It's a great issue of Thor. I think that's probably Keith Pollard pencils right there. 6'4", 460 pounds, a super dense body, obviously. Eyes blue, hair red. Strength, Hyperion possessed superhuman strength and could lift press about 75 tons. I'm not really, I don't agree with that. I think this is more of a Superman type character, a Marvel version, so he should be class 100. He definitely has slugged it out with Thor and others of that ilk Hulk. In addition to his vast superhuman strength, Hyperion had a remarkably dense body. It was almost impervious to physical harm. And it goes on to relate all of his other powers. So that is Hyperion 2. The Imperial Hydra, real name Arnold Brown. First appearance as Imperial Hydra, Strange Tales 135 as Brown, Strange Tales 137. Final appearance, Strange Tales 141. Here he is being gunned down unceremoniously. And who does our artwork for that? Ron Frenz, very nice, Ron Frenz. It, the Living Colossus, very cool Al Milgrom artwork. Here he is being shattered by the Hulk. Pretty rough way to go there. First appearance, Tales of Suspense 14. Final appearance, Incredible Hulk 244. Real name, Robert O'Brien. Oh, so I guess he psychically possessed this stone-like body. So in his greater form, he could lift press over 100 tons, class 100. In his 30-foot form, he could lift press 90 tons. I think that's when the Hulk beat him. We have the Jackal, Miles Warren, professor of biochemistry at Empire State University. First appearance as Warren, Amazing Spider-Man 31. As Jackal, Amazing Spider-Man 129. So quite a gulf of distance and time there between his first appearance as a backup character and showing up as a true villain. Here he is being blown up in his death panel. Final appearance, Amazing Spider-Man 149. So Miles Warren was a biochemistry professor at Empire State University who taught undergraduate student Peter Parker, who was secretly the costume crime fighter Spider-Man. Warren felt an admiration and affection for Gwen Stacy, which, as time passed, became an obsession. Okay, so he had a weird obsession with Gwen Stacy. He had no superhuman powers. He was just kind of a gadget villain, relying on his costume. So, really, someone Spider-Man should have mopped the floor with, and probably did. He may have been responsible for the spider clones, though. I think that might be his big claim to fame. Yeah. Jarella, Hulk's ex-lover, very tragic tale. Here she is perishing at the hands of the Crypto Man. He causes this building to collapse, and she heroically throws this little boy out of the way and gets crushed. First appearance, Incredible Hulk 140. Final appearance as a living being, Incredible Hulk 205. Her burial was Incredible Hulk 248. So her ghost has come back a number of times too, I think. She was in that micro world that the Hulk was shrunken down into. Yocasta, I loved Yocasta. I always thought she should have been an Avenger. I was so bummed out when she kind of left the team after a misunderstanding and then was unceremoniously destroyed in Marvel 2-in-1, as this scene depicts here. First appearance, Avengers 162. Final appearance, Marvel 2-in-1 93. Who draws this? What a beautiful piece of art that is. Carrie Gammill, should have known. Carrie Gammill. Yocasta could lift press approximately 5 tons for an indefinite period of time. So she was super strong and had energy manipulating powers. She was going to be the bride of Ultron, and her brain patterns were patterned after the Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, as we see here in this awesome George Perez panel. We see some great Perez artwork here in these 3 panels. Dynamite stuff, and great art from Carrie Gammill, Joe Rubinstein. Yocasta was able to project beams of some as yet unidentified electromagnetic energy from her optical sensors. The specifications of this ability are also not known. Designed by Ultron, Yocasta probably shared many of her builder's specifications. Kangaroo, oh, I love this character. He's a frequent cast member in my Villain Mission Force games. He's been in at least 3 or 4 episodes or issues, if you will. Fantastic character. Very much a 3rd tier or even 4th tier supervillain. But I do love him. Frank Oliver is his real name. Occupation, boxer, later professional criminal. First appearance in Origin, Amazing Spider-Man 81. Final appearance, Amazing Spider-Man 126. The kangaroo possessed superhuman strength in his leg muscles, enabling him to jump greater heights and distances than a normal human being could. However, the strength in his other muscles was apparently no more than that of a normal human being. So he could jump really far, and he incorporated that into his unique fighting style. He had these cool striking van braces on his arms. Just a fun, goofy character. Great panel here of him bounding from building to building. Pretty cool. Bursting into this bank to do a bank job. Would be worth covering his appearance. I have a Marvel Tales that has, I think, his first appearance, so it might be worth covering. Could be fun. I think it's a John Romita issue. Kyber the Cruel. Frederick Kyber. Who draws this? Kyber the Cruel. Bob Wysek. And Mike Mocklin, essentially, incidentally, did Kangaroo. It looks pretty cool. So, Kyber the Cruel. Real name, Frederick Kyber. First appearance, Black Panther number 11. Final appearance, Black Panther 13. He was an extremely goofy, he was part of that extremely goofy late Kirby run in the Black Panther that had King Solomon's frogs and a bunch of other weird stuff in it. Visually a neat character. Kirby was a great character designer. So, let's see here. It is not known whether the life forces contained in the globe that the Panther took were ever restored to bodily existence. So I guess that's relating to his death. So yeah, Kyber the Cruel, a late Kirby return to Marvel character. Kid Colt, one of Marvel's old Western characters. Blake Colt, occupation gunfighter. First appearance, Kid Colt #1. Final appearance, Kid Colt's death is so far unrecorded. Oh, so they're just assuming he died simply because he was a Wild West character and this is the modern era and essentially he would have aged. So yeah. That looks like, I would say that's a Ron Frenz aping a little bit of Kirby style there. Oh no, Larry Lieber. Cool, good job. Larry Lieber, underrated artist. Stan Lee's brother. Korvac, real name Michael Korvac. First appearance, Giant Size Defenders #3. Final appearance, Avengers 176. Origin, Thor Annual #6 in Avengers 175. So he was part of the amazing Korvac saga. And that's Dennis Jensen is the artist for this piece. Really nice. So yeah, here's his death scene here in Avengers 176. Pretty cool. In his ultimate form, Korvac possessed class 100 strength, able to lift press over 100 tons. Possibly he can increase his strength beyond even this level. He had vast cosmic powers. He was just a villain befitting the Avengers, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Ms. Marvel, all those who rose to oppose him at the end. He was certainly incredibly... Before Thanos... Well, actually, not before Thanos. Thanos was already around, but he was another one of those cosmic threats who you could put in sort of Thanos' category, at least before Thanos got the Infinity Gauntlet. He was kind of in his league. Letha, Helen Felciano. First appearance, Marvel Toon 154. Final appearance, Captain America 319. There's that issue again. Another villain gunned down by Scourge. And this is really nice art. I gotta look this up and see who does this. Brian Garvey. So half of that Aiken and Garvey inking tandem. Brian Garvey. And he does a really nice job here on Letha, who was a member of the Grapplers. The Lady Wrestlers. Great Perez here from that Project Pegasus saga issue. And this is, I think, some either Perez or Byrne here, because Byrne did half of Project Pegasus and Perez did the other half. And here's some Ron Wilson from the Thing series. Lilith, who is the vampiress, probably most famous Marvel female vampire. Let's see. First appearance, Giant Size Chillers, first series, #1. Final appearance, Doctor Strange 62. She was one of those vampires who died when that page from the Doctor Strange was able to secure and read that page from the Darkhold that basically killed all the vampires. For a while in Marvel, there were no vampires because Doctor Strange got rid of them all, which was a pretty cool story. She had superhuman strength due to her vampiric nature. She could lift press 1,100 pounds. She had a host of other vampiric powers. Visually a really cool character. And who does the art for her? Lilith, let's see. Oh, Nesta Redondo from that Filipino invasion. Really great artist. And we have, next up, The Living Monolith, drawn by Mike Harris. Ahmet Abdul, first appearance as Living Pharaoh, X-Men 54 as Living Monolith, X-Men 56. Final appearance, Marvel graphic novel #17. X-Men 54 to 56 is his origin. They also touch more on it, Marvel graphic novel 17, which I think was Revenge of the Living Monolith. And this was a character who really came into his own when Neil Adams drew him. And because I think when he was Living Pharaoh, that issue 54, that was pre-Adams. I believe Adams came on in 55, maybe, of X-Men. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if I am. But yeah, really cool, visually stunning. One of those giant villain characters that you see now and then in comics. And he gets a lengthy entry here. It's going 1, 2, 3, 4 page entry. My goodness. As the Pharaoh, he was 5'8". As the monolith, he was 33 feet usually. He was tied to Havoc as well, so that when when the absorption of Havoc's cosmic powers was blocked, he could assume the living monolith's form. So they had an interesting sort of antagonistic relationship with each other. Look at this gorgeous John Byrne artwork here. This is from that Marvel team-up story, Spider-Man and Havoc, and then Spider-Man and Thor, because you need to bring Thor in to take this guy on. In his ultimate form, he had class 100 strength, could lift press over 100 tons. He had a host of other cosmic powers like blasts and vulnerability. Here he is dying in space, apparently. You know, I don't think I've ever read Revenge of the Living Monolith, and I'm not sure where it's reprinted. I would think it would be in some collection somewhere. But let me know if you know where that story is reprinted. Those Marvel graphic novels aren't the easiest things to get a hold of in their original forms. Next up, Lucifer. Boy, that's classic Marvel House style. I wonder if that's Keith Pollard or Sal Buscema. Let me see here. Sal Buscema, our pal Sal, bringing it in strong. First appearance, X-Men number 9. He was first mentioned in number 8. Final appearance, Captain America 178. Lucifer was reported to have been terminated in West Coast Avengers 24. So here is his death scene drawn by Al Milgrom, it looks like there. He was an advanced agent of the invasion of Earth by the Arcane, the Quists. So that's very old school Marvel stuff there. He could lift press 5 tons. Originally, Lucifer possessed no physical supernatural powers, although he apparently had limited telepathic abilities. While trapped in a nameless dimension, Lucifer somehow endowed himself with the superhuman power to generate what he termed ionic energy and to manipulate it for various purposes. So he could shoot blasts and things like that. Malekith occurs from that awesome Simonson Thor run, and this is, of course, Walt Simonson artwork here. First appearance and origin, Thor 344. Final appearance, Thor 367. So here he is here being choked out by someone. Maybe it looks like Curse maybe or something. Let's check on that here. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Suspecting what had actually happened, Thor ordered an observer, Agnar, to touch the supposed Baldur's corpse with his sword. By doing so, Agnar undid Malekith's spell, and the corpse of Malekith reverted to its true appearance. Okay. Yeah, so Curse was the one who killed Malekith when he was masquerading as Baldur. Look at all this gorgeous Walt Simonson artwork. He had superhuman strength. Apparently he was class 100. I didn't realize he was that powerful. He has a host of other magical powers. He could shoot blasts, change his shape. He was very menacing and a very worthy foe of Thor. Part of that great Thor run. Here we have 3 of the dead Marauders. Blockbuster, Riptide, and Prism. I'm curious to see who this art is. Let me see here. I thought it might have been Rick Leonardi. Yeah, so this is Rick Leonardi artwork here. Blockbuster, real name unrevealed, occupation assassin. First appearance, X-Men 210. Final appearance, Thor 374. Riptide, first appearance, X-Men 210. Final appearance, X-Men 211. Thor kills Blockbuster. Colossus breaks Riptide's neck. And Jean Grey kills Prism by shattering him with a telekinetic assault. Prism's first appearance is X-Factor. Oh, first and final appearance, X-Factor number 10. Yeah. I still remember those awesome panels. I think they're drawn by Simonson, where Jean Grey just seizes Prism and hurls him against a wall, shatters him. Marble Boy, boy, that's some classic artwork there. Dave Cockrum, that's nice. Good work by Dave Cockrum. Robert Grayson, Occupation Adventurer. First modern appearance, Fantastic Four 164. Final Fantastic Four 165. Yeah, he goes crazy, basically. This is a great Perez story, I want to say. So while he looks just like Quasar, Wendell Vaughn, he is not. Quasar, Wendell Vaughn adopts the bands and his costume and basically looks just like him. With those bands on, he had superhuman strength. Marvel Boy possessed no superhuman powers except those derived from the energy manipulating wristbands he wore, which he couldn't remove. So effectively, they were superhuman powers. I mean, he had vast energy powers, and yeah, just a cool. That's a cool two-parter from Marv Wolfman and George Perez. The Mauler, real name Aaron Soames. Let's see. First appearance, Daredevil 167. Final appearance, 167. So he's only in the one issue. He's an Iron Man type character. Some great artwork here. So this is this Frank Miller? I guess it is. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's definitely Frank Miller there. Very cool. Melter, one of the classic and I think lamest Avengers villains. First appearance, Tales of Suspense 47. Final appearance, Avengers 263. This is Scourge killing him here. Justice is served, I'll say. Real name, Bruno Hogan. I mean, I always joke with my friends when we talk about lame villains. All you got to do with the Melter is just get behind him. I mean, he can basically blast you with his belt device. Although, he also used a pistol at times, too. That is some classic artwork, though. Who does that? Carrie Gammill, again. Pretty awesome. Oh, this gorgeous two-pager spread here on the Midgard Serpent. Really great use by the creative staff of some awesome Walt Simonson artwork. Totally great. First appearance, Thor 127. Final appearance, Thor 380. And there he is getting trounced by Thor. Gorgeous Simonson artwork there. Yeah, that's pretty great. Or could that be Sal? That might be Sal Buscema when he was on Thor after Simonson stopped drawing it but continued writing it. And Sal was sort of aping Walt's style. So that could be Sal aping Walt. Great picture image here of the Mimic, drawn by Ron Frenz, really nice. Calvin Rankin, who would go on to become a mainstay in the Exiles team that Tony Bedard and, oh gosh, I'm blanking on the original creator of the Exiles series in the 90s was, but it was a fun run until Claremont got there, and then it wasn't. Calvin Rankin, as I said, first appearance in Origin, X-Men 19, final appearance, Incredible Hulk 161, and here he is absorbing the energy from the Hulk that ultimately kills him. And he gets a pretty lengthy entry. Just a visually cool character who sort of combines the powers of all the original 5 X-Men, and he can absorb other people's powers too. As we would see in the Exiles series, which basically has alternate universe version of Calvin Rankin who didn't die. Miracle Man, who, if you look quickly, looks like Dracula basically, but no. And he's here being gunned down by Scourge in this panel. Another victim of Scourge. Yeah. So at one point he did have superhuman strength that allowed him to match the Thing in physical combat. But I think when he was killed, he didn't have those powers. First appearance, FF number 3. Final appearance, Thing 24. Yeah. Mirage, another victim of Scourge. Guess when his final appearance was? You only get one guess. Yes, Captain America 319. He first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man 156. Desmond Charn is his name here. Miss America, Madeline Joyce Frank, Adventurer, first modern appearance, Giant Size Avengers #1. Final appearance, Giant Size Avengers #1. Oh yeah, that's actually some very nice artwork. I gotta look and see who does that. Let's see here. Mary Wilshire, totally awesome. She possessed normal human strength. Ms. America possessed the ability to levitate herself by psionic means. She could fly about 30 miles an hour. She could levitate for up to 2 hours. So basically she could fly and she was a good fighter. Oh, and here we come to one of my favorite villains of all time, MODOK, drawn brilliantly here by Mike Zeck. Oh, he's so cool. George Tarleton. First appearance, voice only, Tales of Suspense 93. Fully shown, Tales of Suspense 94. Final appearance as a living being, Captain America 313. Body destroyed in Iron Man 205. I remember that, both of those stories. He is viciously murdered by the Serpent Society in one of their first gigs as an official supervillain union. And here is his demise, grisly depicted here by Paul Neary and Dennis Janke in that issue of Cap. Totally awesome. Yeah, here's some great Kirby from his first appearance. He was as much a Captain America villain as he was a Hulk villain. I would say probably more of a Hulk villain ultimately. But he made the rounds. He fought Ms. Marvel. Iron Man, obviously, as you see here. Yeah, he was just a storied villain. And I did think in Quantumania, the Ant-Man 3 movie, the way they did him was okay. It was not classic MODOK, but I don't think you could do classic MODOK on the screen and have him taken seriously by general audience fans. He's a character who is best served in the comics in this classic milieu. They did what they could. I think they did about as well as they could taking him to the screen. Here we have a selection of slain Morlocks, and a lot of them died at the hands of the Marauders in the Mutant Massacre. Who draws these little micro entries here? Sal Buscema, very nice artwork by Sal. You could take any group of these characters with a skilled writer and an artist and have a lot of fun with them. So the fact that these characters were so casually killed was, it was sad. It did actually have some impact, though. I felt a lot of pathos for them. Here's some pretty great Walt Simonson artwork here of them dying. Nebulon, very cool villain involved in several big stories, including a second Avengers Defenders Fracas. First appearance, Defenders 13. Final appearance, Avengers Annual number 11. That might be Al Milgrom, because he drew the Nebulon's final appearance. It is Al Milgrom, yeah. He drew that annual where the Avengers fought the Defenders because of manipulation from Nebulon. He was a shapeshifter. He did possess superhuman strength, but they do not measure it here. That's him, I think, his actual native form. So this is just kind of something, a more human form he takes on to not horrify people. Nighthawk 1, Kyle Richmond. Great character. First appearance, Avengers 85. Final appearance, Squad Supreme number 12. He dies at the end right here, very tragically, at the hands of Foxfire. She literally just destroys his heart with her touch. And that was Mark Grunwald's magnum opus. I urge you to read it if you haven't. Squadron Supreme maxi series, 12 issues, well worth it. Bob Hall draws part of it. John Buscema draws part of it, and Paul Ryan draws the rest. So, yeah, this version of Nighthawk winds up there in that parallel Earth. and really is very cool. I like this costume too, this redesigned costume. And then here's the costume that we probably know more as comic fans. This is the Nighthawk 2, Kyle Richmond from Our Earth. First appearance, Avengers 71. Final appearance, Defenders 106. Origin, Daredevil 62 and Defenders 32. Here he is being blown up. Love that costume. He could lift 1 ton, but only at night. That was kind of his shtick. And then we have the rest of our data corrections and that list of that alphabetical list of all of the Marvel comics that all the stuff from the series is pulled from. Pretty great stuff. So yeah, that's our read through of the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, Book of the Dead. This is number 18. So this is episode 98 of my show. I can't believe I've done 98 episodes, but here we are. I got something special planned for episodes 99 and 100. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag right now, but I think I'm gonna take on 2 pretty important issues that are connected to each other. Folks who have faithfully watched my show from the beginning may have an idea, but it's kind of tough to just pull it from the ether what I've got planned. I'll say this: it involves the Avengers, so I'll leave you with that to ruminate on it. Hopefully, in the next few days, I'll get the episode 99 out. In the meantime, I really do appreciate you watching the show, following me, liking, commenting. Please tell your friends if you do enjoy the show. I'd love to have more viewers. The channel isn't monetized. I just like sharing this stuff with people, so it would be great to get as many eyes on it as possible. So stay tuned for episode 99. In the meantime, please take care. Thanks for watching. I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics.